And this is one of Bob's favorite places, right above the big Shiva temple in Tiruvannamalai. We're sitting in Arunachala, just about 100 yards south from Skandasram, between Skandasram and Ramanashram. And he's gone to the top. He's been here with Kalidas. He sure talked about it a lot with Lori. And with me. Yes, if you can get me in the picture there. So, Kalidas, any last words for Bob in his final ceremony in his Round the World Ashes tour?
Final words.
Speak loud, there's a lot of wind.
Final words is silence.
Nice. Lori.
Well, it's been a hell of a trip. Hope you enjoy the ride.
Well, it's been from, let's see, the first was Ojai, second was Santa Monica, third was the sea ceremony off of Marina del Rey, then there was Santa Barbara, then we dropped some ashes off at Mount Shasta, and then at Crater Lake, and then in Thailand, and now here. Okay, Kalidas, I'm going to hand you a little vial of Bob ashes.
Well, this is where we're all going to end up, the body at least. But that's not what Bob is all about. That's just a little back down. That's not what Bob is. Like Bob one time said, his body is going to die, but Bob ain't going to die. So in that manner, I put these ashes out to the great Maha Arunachala, the Lord of Lords, Arunachala Shiva. Fly, fly, fly home. We miss your body, Bob, but we'll meet again fairly soon. It's all relative time. Thanks, Bob, for being such a great soul brother. What can I say? It's just love. That's what Bob is about. Silence and essence, whatever Bob always talked about. That's what it's about. It's about the essence and the ashes. It's a symbolic thing. Thanks for coming to this planet, Bob, and spreading your message, fulfilling your Dharma, and we'll meet again without the bodies. We're already meeting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kalidas. I just put some of Bob's ashes at Skandasram in the flower pots right next to the entrance, 3 each to the left, 3 each to the right, and at the place where people put their shoes, so their shoes will take Bob's ashes all over the mountain, which I thought was the best thing I could do for Bob at the moment. So that's what I did. After the ceremony, of course, we did Pradakshina, following the white and red fire mountaintop signs around the mountain. And Arunachala is just as wonderful as I remembered, and maybe even more so. We headed north by train. 2 nights, a couple days in Delhi, then another train, and then we were at, eventually, Kunjapuri, a beautiful mountaintop temple looking out north towards the Himalaya. We had an amazingly clear day there. Kunjapuri is just a few kilometers above Rishikesh, the home of the Rishi for thousands of years. a wonderful destination, one Bob had really liked. Shiva, world peace, Krishna with his chariot guiding Arjuna, the great warrior, the famous story from the Bhagavad Gita. But Bob, as Kalidas mentioned, was a Shiva man. Next was Haridwar. Haridwar was cold and noisy, but a great pilgrimage place on the Ganga also. One definitely worth a day. And then it was down the river by train to Varanasi, the holiest city in Hinduism. Bob's ashes were put there at the Ghats, of course, the most famous place in India, maybe. Next, we went to Sarnath, where the Buddha first proclaimed the Dharma after his enlightenment. And from there, with a car and driver, we went north to Kushinigar. Kushinigar is where the Buddha passed away, and unfortunately, the day we were there, it was covered with litter and Hindu tourists, and wasn't a real happy place to be, but it was an important place to visit. Next, we drove to Vaishali, a place next to a famous water tank where the Buddha preached. The day we were there, it was full of kids and music. And then to Nalanda. Bob's ashes got to Nalanda too, the home of the greatest university in the world at one time. A Buddhist place, but open to everybody, and to all beliefs, and to science. It was sacked by Afghanistan-based invaders. And then, just down the road, came one of the happiest surprises I've ever had. Rajgir. Are they throwing things to the monkeys?
Yes.
Indians like monkeys and elephants, don't they? Yes.
Yeah, monkey dog.
Rajgir to a Buddhist is the vulture's peak. It was a base for the Buddha for years, and these pictures can't do it justice. All I can say is, if you can, get to Rajgir. But next was the #1 place for Buddhists in the world, Bodh Gaya, the place where the Buddha achieved enlightenment. And a place that since I was first there back in 1999 has really come on in every way. A really good place to go, as good to go as Kushinigar isn't right now. I think Bob made it to Bodh Gaya, to the Mahabodhi temple pictured here. I think it's the one Buddhist holy place he did get to. I hope that's true. Because the Buddha, with his belief in impermanence and attachment causing suffering, and the ego not being real, what fits in perfectly with what Bob said. Next, we were on our way to the sea, where at the last spot, Gokarna, Bob's ashes would also be put. Another pilgrimage spot for Shiva and Ganesh. It seemed the perfect way, by his beloved ocean, to end his journey.